on continuing, you'll be able to access it in our YouTube channel. So guys, I'm hoping that we'll be having such a informative forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Hayu. We are glad to hear you and the good things that you are doing in the editorial department at TASS. Miriam Wanjiko, it's your chance. Miriam Wanjiko is the Publicity Secretary, the Actuarial Student Society.
So thank you, Moses, for the chance. Hello, everyone. Hope you are good. I'm Miriam Wanjiko, the Publicity Secretary. Okay, what I've been doing in my docket is that I've notified members for the meeting. I hope most of you have received my text, and for this meeting, that is the work of publicity, and I believe I've made the event publicity.
Thank you, Miriam. Again, I repeat, kindly mute your speakers so that we avoid audio interference. Yeah. I would like to ask Valerian Wambua. Valerian Wambua is the treasurer at Actuarial Student Society.
Thank you, Moses. I'm Valerian Wambua. I'm the financial controller for TASS. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerian. I would like to invite our organizing secretary, Stephen Mutuku. Stephen Mutuku, please, it's your chance.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Mutuku, the organizing secretary of the TASS. I would like to take this chance to welcome all our guests, our lecturers, and our fellow students. Most welcome to this great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. Mutati, Joseph Mutati. Joseph Mutati is the Secretary General of the Actuarial Student Society. Joseph Mutati, this is your chance.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Joseph Mutati. I am the Secretary General of the Actuarial Students of KISS University, as well as the Group Chief Executive Officer at Discount Private Limited Company. I would like to welcome all of us to this session and first apologize for the issues you experienced at first. Actually, someone called and I'm sorry for that one. So going to our projects that we are having as an association, this year we were planned to attend an event at Tanzania, that is the University of Dar es Salaam, but due to COVID situation, we couldn't make to attend the meeting, though it went on well. I followed the meeting online and everything was okay. So going forward, we expect that from next year, our students will be able to attend the regional actuarial convention at Makerere University and also University of Dar es Salaam and any other convention that will be called upon to attend. So I also have good news for all of us that we are in a process of digitizing all TASS documents. From I think next week, you'll be able to access all documents online. Our meeting details will be accessed online. And this is really a very progressive stage that we are taking as an association. I also would like to aim the TASS as a whole. For your information, the Actuarial Student Society of KISS University, so far, as members who have registered at least 3 independent private companies in Kenya. That is really a milestone because we understand that it is not an easy step and for students to set up their own companies and run and be recognized nationally that this is their own thing that they are starting. So generally, I'm excited actually, all of us. So I wish all of us a nice meeting. I hope we learn a lot from our guest, Andelight, Louise. These are great people that we can all learn from. So thank you for your time. See you then. Bye.
Thank you, Tio Mutati. At this gesture, I can see we are honored to have a member of the executive of the Actuarial Society, Karatina University, Stacy, Karen, Stacy, it's your chance. It's your chance. Stacy, if you can hear me, this is your chance to introduce yourself and maybe your docket in Karatina University. It's like we are having a problem reaching Stacy at the moment. We will give her a chance as time proceeds. We are also honored to have one of our lecturers in Kisii University, Walter Onchere. Walter Onchere, please, if you can hear me, this is your chance. Walter Onchere, please. Walter Onchere. So that we avoid time wastage, I'll have to skip that part. Our matron will be joining us later. Unfortunately, she has another meeting that she is currently attending to, but she will be joining us within no time. Meanwhile, we are also graced with the presence of Sevia Aluku. Sevia Aluku is the actuarial analyst, Blue Wave Insurance. Sevia Aluku. Sevia, this is your chance to introduce yourself and say something to the participants.
Okay, thank you, Moses, and the TASS team for organizing this event. Maybe because Adelaide is almost joining, and already we are seeing Louis Kinute is already in the call, and we are having also a team from Blue Wave that are already here. We are having Casper, we are having Calvin's, if I can see. Then also we are having Gloria, who is also our actual analyst. So I don't have so much to say. I know maybe because Adelaide will be for 15 minutes, we shall be there with you throughout the event. So I can just come back to you, Moses, so that I can tell Adelaide to join.
Okay, thank you, Sevia. Sevia is the former president or chairperson of the Actuarial Student Society. We are glad that you have made it to this meeting today, together with your team from Blue Wave. Due to time, We will not be welcoming all of them. I'm sure you will be having a chance after Adelaide has already left the meeting to interact with the students and answer some of the burning questions. At this time and gesture, I would like to invite Joseph. Joseph is a class representative in Year 2, Actuarial Science. He will be taking us through some of the house rules on how to ask questions, how to use the raise your hand, how to use the raise your hand application, how to use the raise your hand or the chat box in asking questions. Joseph, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Gitau, and I am an actuarial class rep 2.1. So I am the moderator of this meeting, and I will be requiring that in the meeting you mute your mic unless you have a question to ask. But if you have a question to ask, you can use the public chat button. You share your questions, then after the meeting, we will try and answer some of them. I hope that's clear, and I hope the meeting will be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, I think that was clear enough. Ensure that you have muted your speaker. If you want to ask a question, you'll be given an opportunity after the presentation. You will be able to raise your hand, and then Joseph will pick you, or you can use the chat and post your question there, and then the team will be able to answer your questions. Thank you. We are waiting for our chief guest to get him to attend the meeting. I think that within no time she will be attending the meeting. Yeah. Again, I would like to thank all of you for making your time and being here. I am glad that we are all here as we prepare to tap into this great well of knowledge. We will be having a small presentation about TASS, what we are, what we have achieved so far, and where we will be going in the next 5 years or so. Yeah, and so that I may start this presentation. As we wait for Adelaide to join the meeting, I can see that our vice chairperson has finally made it to the meeting, and I would like to give her a chance to say something. Jen Mwende, please. Jen Mwende, this is your chance.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jane Mwende, the Vice Chair, TASS. I'm sorry I was late. First is to thank you all because of attending this meeting. It will be a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. And we appreciate that you have made it to the meeting despite the other things that you might have been doing. As decided to join the meeting.
Hi everyone, I've joined actually.
Okay, thank you, madam. It's great to hear your voice at this time. First and foremost, I thank you for making your time and making it to this meeting. I'm Moses Mwendwa, the TASS chairperson. Yeah, and we are glad and honored to have you here. So without much ado, I would like to go to the presentation so that we save on time. I'm aware that you will be heading to another meeting by 2:30.
Yeah, and I do apologize for the slow entry. I've also had a full day of calls, so I was just trying to grab some water and a quick snack before coming in. And yes, we do have a critical pitch at from 2:30. So, but I still felt that this is quite important to just meet you, speak to you, however briefly, so that you can kick off. I'll request if you just give me some admin rights to share one slide.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so in just about 10 minutes, I'd like to share a little bit about myself, what I do, what is my key ethos with you. But from what I know is you need your minds opened up that because you've done actuarial science, you're not doomed to an actuarial science department. There's a lot more you can do outside the field of actuarial science in this market. And I hope that I'll be able to share with you my story in just about 10 minutes. And if it will inspire either one of you to think outside the box, that would be very, very, very exciting for me. So as you can see, I have about 16 years working for both conventional and non-conventional insurance companies. My personality is more of a sanguine choleric. I'm a color red, meaning that I'm quite bold and I go for any opportunities that come my way. I love to harness any opportunity. And in every experience, every encounter that I have, I try to connect it with an opportunity. So I'm that, and I call myself a go-getter. I don't shy away from opportunities at all. So I grew up from a large family, and a lot of my experiences have been growing within a huge family setup. I graduated from University of Nairobi, and I got my first job actually while I was in second year of actuarial science. And my first job was with CFC, which is now Liberty Life. And what is interesting about this first opportunity was I joined in as an intern, and interns at the time were the ones who were given all the clerical work, photocopying, making sure that your supervisors have gotten their tea and on time. But I remember spending extra hours every day to learn something outside my clerical jobs. So I made friends with one of my supervisors, and I requested her to teach me what she does on her computer every evening. So I'll do like an extra hour, just learning something new. I do right now have an opportunity to learn or explore. Think outside the box. Don't be comfortable. See what more you can add to your knowledge set. You're still young. Commitments are not yet so bad. So you need to ensure that you can reserve a lot of your time learning as much as you can, because when life begins to happen, it becomes exceedingly difficult. So just a little bit about my career life. My first formal job was with Jubilee, and I worked first as a pension administrator. So I know, assuming that you're actuarial students, you think that once you're absorbed into any of these companies, and let me just say it right now, you do not need to work in an insurance company only. You can work within banks, you can work within the government, you can work within a hospital setup where you're looking at some of profiling their risks, analyzing their data, the patient data. So open your minds beyond actuarial department specifically. Like my first job was not in any actuarial department, it was within the pension scheme. Pension models are also very, very analytical. You have to project, you have to give people a guarantee that they're going to earn for the rest of their lives until they unfortunately pass on. So we did create specific models that can be able to simulate how much they contribute today to earn specific jobs, specific income when they actually retire. So I remember after 2 years, I got very bored within this department, and I requested to be given a new challenge. And with this new challenge, I was a project coordinator. So what I did was I was like a personal assistant to the executive, to the CEOs at the time. And with this, there was almost nothing to do with actuarial, but I had to really dig deep into the projects that these executives were doing. And I'll do a lot more research beyond what was given at my desk to ensure that even when they're presenting their board papers, there's a lot of research and thought through that has come through. I can tell you for certain, I was given this job as an administrator, purely clerical and purely to just facilitate the executive's work and make it easier. But I decided to harness that opportunity and learn and actually give a lot more value beyond what my employers had actually given me the task to do. And because of that, I got this job opportunity called CSG. It's a customer services group where we had to now put all the operations, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Mauritius, Burundi, I believe, into one hub. So as you see, this job was very operational. It's where you have to understand the flow of work, you have to understand the customer journey, and we are trying to centralize these operations into one hub. So CSG, the project coordinator job, pensions, administration, were not purely actuarial science functions, but they were very much extended. With the knowledge you have of actuarial science, you really have a specialty that is unique to identify much deeper than what is presented on the surface. For you to understand and analyze risk and price it in whichever department, in whichever industry you get into, I implore you to dig deeper into what you're doing. And with these experiences, I ended up finding myself journeying through a world of different offerings within the insurance space. So getting into the industry with a very open mind will be very ideal for you to see your opportunities and open up more opportunities than what you can see. Lastly, I believe, I also worked for APA. With APA, I was, in fact, before leaving Jubilee, I joined the official actuarial department, where I worked for about 6 to 7 months only before being put at APA as their group product development lead. So I had some interesting lessons here. You know, many times you'll be designing products with different organizations, but you need to ensure that you understand who you're trying to serve much, much better. And I explored a lot of different organizations during my journey, even as with my learnings from APA, Jubilee, and then MicroInsure, which is a microinsurance entity that focuses for products for the very low income segment only. So as you can see, my journey has been quite versatile from when I was in campus, starting to work in campus in a very clerical job. Literally, my work, I was like a filing clerk. you'd put in all the documents, the proposal forms that have been coming in, moving into now formal back office kind of pensions admin, and then being immersed into different departments that deal with completely different things. Until now, I'm getting back a lot home with product development at APA, and eventually running a country office called MicroEnsure that deals with the low income segment. And all this journey came before I formed Blue Wave. So if I count all these years here, these are almost 10 years. 10 years from campus and Jubilee, APA, MicroEnsure, harnessing opportunities, opening my mind to being able to learn. If you enter into employment with a fixed mindset that I must be an actuary and I can only create actuarial models, you're going to rob yourself of the opportunities to actually get into new frontiers and into new markets. So get into whatever sphere you want to get into with a very open mind. And eventually, almost 12 years later, I'm forming Blue Wave with all the experiences that I've earned over time. So I'll leave you with this parting shot is be curious, always ask for help, take criticism positively. Don't react when somebody corrects your mistakes, because criticism will help you move into the next frontier. Have a passion, and always ensure that even if you have a passion, are you really creating value for what you're doing? Passion is good, it'll keep you going, but you always remember that you have to create value in what you're doing. You're in a big market, so don't be average. You're competing with a large group of other people such as yourselves, so make sure that you can be able to stand out. And if you ever have an opportunity, adopt somebody who you can mentor to become great. And I call that project another. So think of somebody else who you can be able to mentor. So solve problems that your customers can't solve for themselves. Always put them first. So that's who I am. That's what I do and I represent. And thank you so much for the opportunity to just say hello to all of you. Thank you for the opportunity to listen to my story. And I hope that you'll be able to get into the market out there with a very open mindset of what you can do for this market. Thank you.
Thank you, Adelaide. On behalf of TASS, I would like to thank you for the impact that you have had on the society and on the students as well. You have given us an opportunity to start practicing on marketing of insurance products through your various coalitions that you have had with the insurance with Blue Wave. We really appreciate. Yeah, we really appreciate you coming here today and sharing with us your story. You have inspired us to live from our comfort zone and learn and harness every opportunity that comes our way. Yeah.
Super. And we have been having innovation calls with the team. I would like you to know that there's a lot that we are putting in place beyond just the sales of insurance. We want to see how we can harness this whole body, the TASS body, to see how we can help you plug into innovation and innovative thinking, and see if we could be able to spur up little, we can mushroom companies around innovation, not just on insurance, but across different markets and different spheres. So watch this space. Keep Xavier close. We are looking at setting up an innovation department where we'll be looking at opportunities for you beyond just the sales. The opportunity for you to plug in, test and experiment different ideas that you feel can be problem solving for our continent. So we look forward. Blue Wave is has an Africa-wide agenda. So even whatever solutions you're offering, look beyond Kenya, look beyond your county, look beyond the continent, and always dream big. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you too. Welcome another time.
Karibu, asante.
I think at this moment, if you will be having questions, we'll be taking the questions after the meeting. Yeah, because Xavier and Calvin and the Blue Wave team here, they are here. They will be able to help with any questions that you'll be having regarding Blue Wave, what they have in store for us, and what we can do in order to harness those opportunities. Yeah. Also for the presentation, I think we will be able to do it after the meeting, and therefore, at this time and juncture, I would like to welcome Miriam Joroge. Miriam Joroge is the Publicity Secretary TASS, and she will be inviting our second guest, Luis Kinuthia. Welcome, Miriam.
Okay, thank you, Moses. I'm Miriam once again. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our next guest, who is Luis Kinuthia. He is a commercial manager for Sub-Saharan Africa at Pula Advisors, a company which specializes in development and management of agricultural insurance for smallholder farms. He is a graduate of Karatina University with a bachelor's degree in actuarial science in the year 2016. He's worked with Micro Insurer, where he holds the position of the business development manager in charge of East Africa and principal officer, becoming the youngest person to ever hold such a position in the company. While at Micro Insurer, he helped roll out new partnership with banks, NGOs, microfinance institutions, digital marketplaces, and pay-go solar companies, just to mention a few. Providing insurance to 1 million of previously underserved families. He's also the co-founder of a startup, Fins called Savannah Limited, and pitched at the TV show Lions Den together with his co-founder and got a deal from one of the Lions, Mike Rabal. While he was a student, he founded the Karatina University Actuarial Student Society Association. Karatina University Actuarial Students Association, and served as their president for 1 year. He also served in the third generation of the Actuarial Student Society of Kenya, that is ASK leadership. His passion for innovation led him to be among the recipients of Insurance Regulatory Authority Innovation Challenge, awarded in 2016 from the then Commissioner, Mr. Sami Makove. Luis is a passionate mentor and has helped hundreds of youth and young professionals kickstart their career. Welcome, Luis.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Just a moment, let me just probably switch my video on. Okay, let me know if you can see me. Hi guys. Can people hear me? Sylvia, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you, Louis.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, TASS, for having me. I have a little history with TASS. I know your president, Don. Your then president, Don, was a good friend of mine. So is Otieno Kiongozi, as I call him, and other people. Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to talk to you. I'm going to tell you a little about my history. The topic is opportunities that may, students normally don't focus on, or unexploited opportunities for students. So I'm gonna try go through that, but I love this to be engaging. Stop me at any time, ask questions, don't have to wait all the way to the end. I want this to be as engaging as possible. Yeah. Great. So someone please make me, let me see if you can share my screen. I think I can. Awesome. Xavier, tell me if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see from my end.
Okay, that's awesome. So before I start, let me give some disclaimers. I'm gonna make very controversial statements, mostly about school. And I know there are lecturers here, they are listening, they are academicians, they might have different opinions, but I love sharing what I believe is true, at least for me, based on my experience and the experience of my friends and the people I've had the privilege of interacting with in the course of my schooling and now my career. So as the lady has explained, I have about 4 years of experience now in the corporate world. I graduated November 20, which I won't go mentioning again. Great, so let's get on to what this is all about. Before I start, Calvin, how much time do I have?
You have 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll try my best to keep within time. So I'm supposed to finish at 3:10. Yeah? Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So let's get into this. So I have divided. The question is unexploited opportunities for actuarial students. Now, having been an actuarial student myself, I try to pick out things at different level, at different stages, things that we may have left out. So I've divided this into three. There's school, there's after you graduate, and then there is in the job market. Yeah. So which opportunities are there in every stage? And how I've structured this mostly is behavior, like what do people tend to do, and what can we do different. Awesome. So this is my first statement, and I say this a lot, and people think I'm just trying to be a hater or anything, but in campus especially, I believe what you do outside class is actually very important, more than what you study in class. Yeah. I can keep talking. So, and this is true for me. This is true for most of my friends. So you guys have either been campus or or still in campus. You know how it works. Most campus students would have an average of I don't know 6 classes in a week, maybe. Yeah, and you have the rest of the time to use however you want. And when you're in the class, you're mostly you know taking notes or copying notes from someone, or listening to a lecturer who's reading from a handout, which he could as well give you, go and read. Yeah. When I was in first year, I was dying for this crazy knowledge, yeah, to come from lecturers. You just come out of high school. You're this excited. The moment you've got that invitation, actuarial science, you know how you felt, and you know how you imagined you're going to be. You thought you're going to campus to get this immense wisdom and knowledge given by top professors and doctors and all that. But in reality, it comes to the first class, you're like, maybe next time. Ikifika next time, okay, maybe ni second year, maybe ni tunafanya introduction. Unaendelea hivyo, by the time unafika for there or third year, started, this thing is not going to change. So the guy who taught me in first year, he taught me in that year. I don't feel there's not so much different. It's all existing. You're given notes, you read, or you forget, you wait until exam, you download. So you copy and paste. After exam, you forget. I don't know last time you someone you can't remember. You get. So there's a lot of waste that goes inside our classrooms, inside our day-to-day lectures. And so, like again, I'm going to relate this in personal story. It might be different from you, might be different from other people. But like for us, until when we decided to form our own association, the equivalent of TASS, That's when you started getting some actual value. Because as a student, you want to do and practice. But in school, you just do, forget. Use the same example. And that past paper last year is exactly the same. Just replicate. You don't get that practical knowledge. So, like for us, what we did when we formed Karwasa, we started inviting guys to come in. Tell us exactly what do you do. How is what I'm doing now? How is deriving MGF of whatever of a probability function? How does that connect with what you do in the office? You see those two things. The moment you can see this MGF, I'm going to use it in a certain way, or this Poisson distribution or whatever. Then you start getting some aspects to it. Then you start, you know what to grasp, what not to grasp. So for us, especially as the guys from Karwasa people, we got a lot of that from outside class, not necessarily inside the lecture hall, and that's why I think so yeah, is overrated. And this is another bold statement that I make everywhere. I think, and you can tell people, especially people who've graduated, who've gone the entire 4 years, can tell you, at most, when I graduate in rumors, after 4 years, that's the most that you get out of school. Especially if you just focus on books, papers, exam talk within these 16 pages. These are the only 16 pages you read, and that's the only thing that you'll ever know. Assuming you don't forget most of those 16 pages. So you come out there out there and you don't have a very specific skill in which you can actually do something. Yeah. So couple graduation, your family has come with a bus all the way from Bungoma. They're there celebrating, throwing you up and down. But unajijua vizuri, hakuna kitu kunayo. Get. So I think there's more that can be. I don't mean university is bad. I just think the way it's administered, the way the knowledge is communicated to students is probably not the best way. And many people have critiqued this around the world. You might know, like Google and Facebook and all these big tech giants, they're no longer considering a college degree. Yeah. It's not as long as you have it's not like Kitambo, 70s, 80s. Yeah, you just look at your paper and boom, you have a job. Yeah, now it's going to skill based. I don't care whether you want to see what I want to do, what I want to know. Can I give you stuff and do? Can you produce stuff for me? You get what can you do as a person? And how I usually like challenging people. Imagine today your papers have burned down, you have nothing. Ile degree umekuwa umeshikilia, yeah, you have nothing. Hizo transcripts nilikuwa nazo za first year with clean A's and everything, they're zero. You have nothing. Somebody just presents you with a laptop like this one I'm using here and asks you, what can you do for me with this PC? Zero. All those papers that you have, imagine they're not there. What can you actually deliver? That's when you start actually criticizing yourself very well and realizing, if I can't show that I studied something using a paper, I can't show the same thing using Excel, for example, using Python or using any of these other softwares. So until you realize this, and the earlier you realize, the better. That just because it's you're praised in your village, your colleagues who do social sciences praise you. Ule anafanya actuarial, yeah. And if I maybe get a little dirty here, there was a joke that what actuarial students do, when they're trying to get a girl, they just say, I pursue actuarial science. And this chick is doing community development or I don't know, business something, then they just call for you. Yeah. So as long as when you remove this, hype, fake hypes, because everybody in your village is praising and all that, and that's yourself, what you really have as a person. That's when you realize you have a long way. You actually panic, by the way. You realize I have a lot to do in terms of getting myself together. Yeah. And the reason, if I may reiterate, the reason I'm starting here is because you look at opportunities lost for actuarial graduates after graduation, when actually most of that is actually gained and prepared during the course of your study. Yeah. When you finish your graduation, I'm not saying it's too late, but you've lost considerable amount of time. Like public schools, universities, for example, unasoma 4 sem, unaenda nyumbani, you do 8 sem, then you go home for 4 months, pruning your fence, or unalima shamba mahali, or teaching your neighboring high school. You know how you all do these things, and most of that then does not actually really attribute to to your studies or to your future time. And in the course of the coursework, as I said, there are usually like 3-4 classes in a week, and the other time nobody knows what you're doing. You're either watching movies, ama mko PS, ama mko some are in the library. They're very good people with the libraries and everything. But if you look at the combined time that you lose both within school and outside school, you realize you could have used that time a lot better if, looking like myself, looking retrospectively, done better with that knowledge. So for me, education is overrated. You don't need to go to university to be considered important. It does give you a platform. I think all education does to is give you a platform to expose yourself. It doesn't actually provide you with the key to your entire life. It's not the silver bullet. So going back to opportunities lost. So there are these people. There are different kind of people in campus. Kuna wale, it's class, library, home. Kuna wale ni class na home. They don't know library. Until it's 2 weeks to exams, or even a week to exam. And then there are those who will finish and go utasikia hapo and organize events juu happy, or they're doing some stuff with the university. Some are playing, their favorite games and everything. So for me, I think is not just an actuarial. This actually applies to every kind of student. Try to maximize on your time. As I said down here, make every second count. Yeah. Don't. And I'll give you a good example. All of you won't become actuaries. Most of you actually won't. Yeah. So when you remove actuarial from your life, what else is there? Yeah. Because I'll tell you, this is the truth, and this has happened to my class and to many other people. Only, this from my estimation, only about 5 to 10% will actually pursue actuarial career, actuarial degree. So if you're 50 in a class, only 5 of you will pursue actuarial degree, papers and all that, and go up in insurance companies and everything. What happens to these 45 people? Where do they go? Yeah. So if you remove then your career, if you won't utilize your actuarial skills, then you're left with almost nothing. Yeah. Now compare that with somebody who, while at school, they learn a new skill. Yeah. They probably learned Java or Python. Something not necessarily directly related to actuarial, or they even learned how to make maths, door maths or something. Yeah. Sorry. So compare with someone who started a business. I know every campus has guys, Manyaноza, Mandazi, guys who are doing, some shop, canteen, guys are doing photocopies, something. Compare yourself with those guys. Even if actually ever went, haywire, they most likely have another skill. Maybe a guy was so good at badminton, they even played at championships. They can go and play somewhere else. So the biggest misconception, especially with actually, is that once you do the degree, that's it. You've narrowed down. Actually, university is not meant to narrow down. It's actually meant to open doors for you. Yeah. So I think just because you have that degree, then everything goes smoothly. So these points I've listed down here are things you can do extra to add more value to you. Yeah. So that even if you're not, because we know this is like a guarantee, 90% of you won't do actuarial. Some of you wish if we go down right now to first year, you wouldn't even pursue that actuarial degree you're pursuing right now. Yeah. So narrowing yourself thin actually it's a big risk for actuaries, and these are the opportunities that you go and utilize. So participate in activities. Do something. Make sure you volunteer. Yeah, like for us, I remember we spend sometimes we spend a whole month organizing a volunteer activity for Mount Kenya Marathon, and it's all about, you set up a tent, you go market the event, people buy T-shirts, capes, and all that. Yeah. or go mentor students in your in the neighborhood, you are gaining something. All this is not to waste. I know kuna people tell me, Louis, unawasingi time, sijui leo umekuwa wapi, sijui umekuwa wapi, because people assume, and this will be discredited very fast the moment you start actually pursuing your career, that just because you're not doing something related to your career, then you're wasting your time. That's the biggest misconception there is in campus. Yeah, like they would find me in an entrepreneurship club, and somebody would ask me, why the hell are you doing an entrepreneurship club? Shouldn't you be doing something actuarial related? And you'd find like maybe it would just be me and say another colleague, and we look completely lost from the view of everyone else. But what you're doing, you're adding your skill, you're making yourself, you're increasing the chances of success. Yeah, if you can't hit actuarial, you can become an entrepreneur, you can become something else, you can even become public speaker, you can even work in you can work in a bank, or you can work in the actually you can work even in a mining whatever company or something, because you're trying to make yourself all rounded. And again, this misconception, try not to narrow down, try to widen your gap. This is going to help your life big time. Yeah. So I've talked about activities, volunteering, events. I'm so passionate about this because I remember how I used to preach fervently to my classmates. Kuna event Ask Nairobi, people are being charged 2K. Do you want to go? The answer is 90% of the class are going to say no. I have shughuli. Okay, or they don't have money apparently, or you always come up with an excuse. But if you look at what you call the opportunity cost, yeah, what they're preferring to do versus what they're sacrificing, it doesn't even relate. Anybody can get 2K ukiwaambia ni ya clubbing, ama ukiwaambia ni ya kwenda hike Mount Kenya, ama ukiwaambia ni, but ukifika 2K ya events, yeah, 2K imeshikanishwa na event, go sit in KACC for 2 straight days listening to conventions and speakers like these ones. People don't want to go there. Yeah, but ikifika later, when they say kina Calvins and Xavier Luku who are going to these things, they're like, you must be so lucky. No, Xavier is not lucky. They actually planned or prepared these when they were in the course of their school. So for me, events is a big booster in your. Honestly, you'll get a job. I won't lie to you, you'll get a job out of an event. But even the way you structure your mind, when you listen to these professionals been there 10, 20 years talking, the way you structure your mind, the way when you go back, the way you think, you really think differently from everyone else who's just reading. I'm a learning GF, I'm a happy, my life is great. It's so different. It's very, very different. Meeting people, talking, getting their perspective towards life helps you structure your life as well. So I can't insist enough on events, meet people and networking, talk to people as much as possible. And if you're not a talker, just go sit there and listen. Just listen to people. You're going to change your perspective. Like for you guys who volunteered to come to this training, I'm sure by the end of this, you'll be very different from anyone else who didn't decide to join. And they're not doing anything. I mean, what could you say you're doing right now that you couldn't attend to join this call? Yeah, so let's move on. So these are things that I think people could take more advantage of. I'm gonna share this with you guys. It doesn't have much detail, so the recording will do probably much better. But basically, these are the things that you could try and improve on. Yeah, and I can give more examples. Even like entrepreneurship. When I was in Karatina, I actually did start a juice business, because you might think these things are not practical, like they're theoretical. So let me give you a few examples on this. So entrepreneurship. Started a juice business, me and a friend of mine, hostel mate, if I may call it that way, where we would make juice and coffee and would sell around. So how we used to do in the morning, so we would go in the evening after classes, instead of going back to the hostel, we'd pass through the nearby market. And this is in every school. There's usually a big market somewhere. We'd go there, purchase a big half a sack of maembe, mangoes. Would come, pack time in our hostel. In the following morning, I would wake up at around 5. Yeah, kazi ni chonga maembe, chonga na kisu na chonga. Then I had at least a blender from a friend of mine. Then unazi blend ile juice squeeze, not the small one, the jug, like the big one, which separates the juice and everything else. So you run that thing from 5 to 6. By 6, you have you have your juice ready. So naoga, you do assignment, or if there is, or anything else. And you're not going to class set around 8 or 7. I would drop it. I would talk to a few duka owners, yeah, because they're there the entire day, or even hotel, those small kidibandas zamade. I would drop the juices like 5 liter, 5 liter, 5 liter. Tell them to sell for me, and then I'll collect the vibuyus in the evening. So in the evening, I would go pick my member, then pass by also pick the vibuyu, and then pay them commission for that day. So they agree on a commission. So like if a glass is 50 bob, I give them like even 10, 20%, depending on what you agree with. So you're studying at the same time you're running your own business. Yeah. If not that, we registered a company to do tenders. So instead of going for the big corporate kind of tenders, we go to these schools, the high schools around that area, and we'll get deals to supply sabuni, not just sabuni ya kuosha shule and everything. And it was so easy because we didn't make the sabuni. All we needed to do is get somebody who's making the soap, and get the other side a school which needs soap. We just broker the deal, get 10-20% commission, and we go our own ways. So we didn't know what we were doing then. I couldn't even tell you that I knew exactly like how these steps will lead to where I am right now. But right now, looking back, like Steve Jobs says, you can only see the pattern when you look back. I see how those steps led me to where I am right now. So I could give you an example of every of these things that I've listed here. Activities, volunteering, and making your time count. When guys are there just chaping stories, talking about money and that's and all, I'm not saying that's bad, but take a time to also make that time count. Because of time, I'll move forward, or time is really moving fast. So the next thing I want to discuss is now what happens after school. So things you can utilize when within school. So what happens now after you guys have graduated? Yeah. So this is my next stuff. So number one, I wrote there LinkedIn as the first thing, but actually LinkedIn should start when you're still in campus. For me, the best way to link up with people easily, remember after graduation, after job, dropping CVs, calling your uncle who works where, that's the time unaanza kuamka, I need to look for a job. But actually, if you started this way back in school, like guys who are still, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, start connecting with these people right now. And I'll give you a very easy example why you need to just be on LinkedIn. Like it's not even it's not a no-brainer. Like if I'm mentoring a student, the first thing, are you on LinkedIn? No, get on LinkedIn first. So you have this CEO of a company you want to meet. Yeah. So you have options. Number one, you could call them if you have their number. Chances are you don't. You could walk into the office, yeah, and say I want to meet the head of department or CEO. Now let's talk about you going to meet this guy. Yeah. But okay, let's post that one. The other one you could email them. Now two things: you either have their specific emails, which most likely you don't, or you have info at something. Yeah. That's the trash can of emails. Yeah. Upon the emails, that is all rushwa. So info at, the moment you start your conversation with info at, yeah, and you want it to reach the CEO, chances are it will never reach there. Or you go drop your CV at the reception, chances are it will never reach there. Yeah. Further, you go to reception, you say I want to meet, I'm applying for a job, or I want to meet somebody. The reception not atakurudisha nje. You won't even, or the gate man, you won't even go past the gate. Yeah. So compare that with, you get on LinkedIn, you put up a very good profile, make it detailed, put everything, not one liner, student at Kisii University. That's nothing. Yeah? Put a skill. Instead of saying student at Kisii University, say, I don't know, data science enthusiast, data scientist in training, or enthusiastic about something. Put something that tells us more about you. And then put everything that you've done in a digital report. If you ever volunteered somewhere, put it there and all that. Then now connect, not after the CEO you wanted to meet, and send them a connection request. Chances are you're going to connect with this guy on LinkedIn first before you ever even reach up the chain in the office. Yeah. So LinkedIn for me is a no-brainer. You just have to be on LinkedIn. So this again, remember we're talking about opportunities lost. So a guy would not be on LinkedIn, then he's out here sending emails every day, and then comes now to my third point there, email and chill. So Kazi, after graduation, or even slightly before graduation, you start, realizing, oh shit, I need to do something. Natuma email 10, you relax and chill. You're waiting for feedback. Those will never come. And if they come, they'll probably be, sorry, we regret or something. So basically, after graduation, you have to take more proactive measures to getting where you want to be. And I usually say, there's a talk I gave at Karatina, and the title was, this is a bit vulgar, but I said, no one owes you shit. And I use that as my motto. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you a job because you graduated. Yeah. Nobody owes to even meet you or even read your CV because you got a first class. Yeah. The university doesn't owe you a job, as they promise, apparently, that they'll give you a lecturer assistant job after graduation, after you get a first class. That doesn't work. That doesn't exist. So you have to be, after graduation, even before, I'm saying this because these are the things that happen after, but ideally you should have been preparing to, after your graduation life, before you graduate. But let's assume you've already graduated, you didn't do any of these things. What are you supposed to do? Be more proactive. Yeah, networking, the same thing. Events, go meet these people. Now let me talk a little about networking, because I've seen big problem with how students network with professionals. You want something from these guys, you want a job, you want an opportunity to intern, you want something. And when you have a guest like this, so imagine this was a room, and afterwards everybody will come and start asking me questions. The number one question that normally comes up, it may even come up because of this webinar, is do you have internship positions? Every student will always go for that. Do you have a job? Can you give me a job? To me, that's the wrong way, the completely opposite way of how you should be looking at it. Start with the value, and again, be proactive. Yeah, like I don't know, we can do a small exercise here. Like before this call, how many of you guys actually did a research, either about me or about Adelaide? There's I think an icon to raise hands. I would love to know how many did prior research coming into this events. Anyone? Or you can just comment there and say me or something. I would love to see that. Yeah. So I'll just proceed, but I'd love to see how many actually did research coming into this. Chances are very few people. So you need to be proactive with these people. If you manage to get an event, or even paid to go to an event, do research on the people you're going to meet. And I'll give you 2 scenarios of how this will actually help your life. So you're in a conversation with this, let's say the head of actuarial department in the resolution insurance. Yeah. So after the tea interaction, you're there. He's there taking his tea on those high tables or whatever drink he's taking, and you're there as a student. You're afraid of this person. You don't even know where to start the conversation. So most likely you'll be like, "Oh, you work at a resolution. Do you guys have internship?" That's the first thing students always say. Now compare that with a guy comes up already. They did their homework yesterday, coming into this event, and they're like, "Hey, you work at a resolution. Interesting. I saw you guys have this product. Yeah, and I thought it was very interesting." So the guy will be like, yeah, we actually launched it the other day, and it's been doing so well. But now, as a smart student, you want to have this conversation going. You want to know more about this guy. Now, you can't be asking questions like, "What do you do at your job?" Or "How many people do you have?" That's a very boring conversation. Make it, you're a graduate, make it a bit interesting. Say something like, "So, a product is very exciting, but actually Britam, I think, has a better product than you." Or "I saw something, Britam doing something better." Or how does this compare with Jubilee's product? And if you bring this conversation in a way like you're interested, but you're also like kind of criticizing, because there's this, you're trying to make or like an investment firm. Say for example, you work at Saiton. Say a guy, or let's say Faida Investment Bank. Faida Investment Bank is doing an investment product at 8% annual return. Saiton is doing at 10%. Seriously, this guy, okay, yeah, it's good that you work in an investment firm, but why is Saiton doing better returns than you guys? Now, the moment you critique someone, the moment you touch someone's ego, that guy will take the next 30 minutes or even the next 15 minutes trying to justify why they're doing a better job than Saiton. Yeah. But what are you doing? When this guy is talking, you're learning. you're learning. Now that's different from, do you have an internship? What do you do? That guy won't be motivated now. But you're asking provocative questions. Imagine yourself, you're a journalist. Journalists interview engineers, actuaries, business people, pastors, but they're not all this. What they do, they prepare certain questions that are very provocative, that are gonna trigger a debate, trigger a conversation. That's the same way you need to do. But you cannot do that if you haven't done prior knowledge. Like if somebody would ask me, what's the difference between puller and microinsure? What's the difference between puller and inclusivity? Just to say you don't know what I'm talking about because you never did any sort of research. You get. So try yourself to do your homework when you're going to meet these people. Do your homework, and if you have to have a debate with someone, remember this one guy coming to meet 100 people, they'll talk to probably 70 of those. They won't remember you the next day, even if you call them. But if you had a debate with them, yeah, and it's not really a debate, you're just asking some provocative questions because you want to get information and you don't have that information. That person just as that, they will actually remember you, and you'll actually even when you call them, if they give you a card, chances are they'll actually remember who you are, and chances of progressing the discussion. Another thing, carry a damn business card. Business card ni 5 bob, moja, 5 bob. Yeah. I made my first business card when I was in second year. It doesn't even have to have a title or anything. Just say, Xavier Luku, then put down there your motto, thrive to shine, or data scientist for life or something, and then put your phone number and your email. It doesn't even have to have a title or anything. But the fact that you're giving somebody a card, wala kumwambia kuna notebook kama nipe namba yako, this is not professional. Yeah, this guy won't even remember you. Present a card. This guy will have his card in his wallet. Jioni akiangalia atasema, oh yeah, I can email this guy or something. Make yourself visible. Remember, you are looking for a job, but don't try to go as if you're actually looking for a job. And let me give you another example going into the next session of how I got my first job. And it was actually not a job, it was an attachment, internship. And now I'm going to give you this again a bit, it might change your focus from what you've been thinking before. So yeah, you heard at the intro, they said, I founded Karuasa. So I was the president, I was meeting all these CEOs, bringing them to Karatina to talk. After that, I joined us, with Akina Moses Mutuli, Elias, just, these people, you meet them, casually, you have their phone numbers, you can talk to them whenever. So the assumption is these guys would get a job automatically. You just need to make a call and get a job. Well, that wasn't necessarily true. It wasn't the case. We still did the same thing. I could drop CV from Jubilee, Upper Hill. All insurance in Upper Hill. So it's that one company, mnashikana wawili because it can be frustrating. Not drop CVs. So for me, I used to do that with you might know Willie Orero. So we could go dropping those CV until you get frustrated. You're like, okay, I need to come up with a new strategy. So what you did, how I got my first job, is that so when I was doing my project, so when you're doing the literature review, I was doing a product. I'm more pro product because innovation and all that, as opposed to modeling, all this other side. So I did a product, innovative product is represented as my 4th year project. So when I was doing that, I came across this company every now and then, microinsure. So I got curious, and I kind of love what they were doing. So I went to the office. I sat down to meet the HR, like an attachment. Remember, it's attachment. I need that to graduate. Now we finished school at April. By June, kila mtu alikuwa shapata internship, including mwenye hata kwa attend event hata moja ya Karuasa. But mimi bado sikuwa nimepata, but I was kind of, I still get something. So it's mid-June. Guys have been in internship for 1.5 months and I have nothing. Yeah. But I'm still following up with these guys. So when I go to the office, they tell me, no, still our HR is where, still our head of actuary is where. Until one time I decided, okay, you know what? Because we had designed something very close to what one of the products we were doing. I decided I'll go and present my product that I'm doing, and that's what I actually did. When I finally got that window to meet the HR, I didn't go there asking for an internship. Yeah, when I finally got that window, I told them I've come to present a product which I believe is much better than what you guys are doing. And I went ahead with my slide, blah 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 blah. Had it in. At the end of the presentation, when I was leaving, I was like, by the time internship, I wouldn't mind. And that's my core objective. But you see, I had to change strategy. Because this strategy ya kwenda, oh, I'm looking for internship, dropping CVs, it was clearly not working. Yeah. So because of the product I presented was it triggered a debate, because then the HR, remember, the HR has no clue what actuarial does. So lazima share na head of actuarial. There's this guy who said this product is better than ours. Is it true? Then he said he also like an internship. Then the guy was like, yeah, bring this guy in. And that's how I got him. And I got him from internship. 3 years later, I was at principal office and all that. So I just needed that entry. So you have to change your strategy, and you have to be proactive. Huwezi tuma email and chill. Just know you're not going anywhere. Make sure you have the most control of what you can do. Anybody can do a research paper, any one of you. You don't need to have a job to write a research paper. Anybody can try to develop product concept based on what you've learned. Anybody can analyze some set of data. Like go take the census data last year. It's out there for public in the public domain. It's a heavy bulky data that nobody, like, you can't exhaust the stuff you can do in there. Go check that data, decide what you want to analyze, what you want to check, prepare a report, then present that report to an institution and tell me whether they won't give you an audience. Instead of just sitting back, maybe you graduate, what do you call it, long holiday, and I'm here waiting for a job. That's passive. Make sure you're always proactive. Try to do something. They say mkono mtupu haulambwi. So do something that somebody can now reciprocate. But just sitting back and waiting, that won't happen. Yeah. Then let me talk about paper versus skill. So that when you look at a job, there are 2 ways you can look for a job. Number one, here are my papers. I got first class. I also did CPAK. I done CIFA. I've done CFA. All those papers, you have them properly kept. Versus, this is what I can do. This is what I think I can deliver. And I like giving an example with myself, because it's as true as it can be, and I know this actually happened, but I know it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be exactly the same with you. So none of my employers up to this point have ever seen any of my papers, degree, transcript, all those nonsense recommendation letters. None, zero. And I didn't do that intentionally, but I never found the need to actually present these papers to them. And I use that because I never want to be in a situation where I'm dependent on my papers. Like I'm depending, if my papers get lost, then I'm done. I always like putting myself where I have value to give regardless of my papers. And I do that intentionally. Every job that I've moved, I'm always show me what you want me to do for you, rather than how much papers you actually got. And honestly, if I find a job advert in Anzana, you must have these qualifications or these transcripts, GPA 3 point something, I usually discard that application. I know that's not a thing. That's not even the kind of employer I want. I'm always what can I do for you? What can I do? And you may think it's crazy for you to study a degree for 4 years and never present it to any employer. Hiyo ni unaweka vizuri, unapelekea mzazi, namwambia thank you so much, let me go outside there and hustle. And when you don't think of your paper as your insurance, then you don't have a fallback plan. So the only way you can go is move forward. So I'm not saying all of you go through your degrees. No, what I'm saying, don't think the papers will give you the job. What if I have a company, like if you came at FinSal and you want an internship, what I'll ask you is, what can you do for me? I'll give you exercises, like we did a round of interview the other day. I think some of you may have attended, to pick 2 interns, and we never ask for a single paper. We just give them exercises to see what they can actually deliver. One exercise is live, like a conversation. And then we give an exercise, we give you 24 hours, we revert back. We evaluate you based on what you can do. Can I give you a set of data? You go analyze, you bring it back. So paper versus skill. Don't think your paper is the end. Your paper is nowhere close to bring your silver bullet. And then this brings me up to my last point on this topic: frustration. I've had friends who got first class, second upper, and last year I saw one of our second uppers with a placard, akisema, I need a job my name is XYZ, here's my phone number, I have an actuarial degree. My own classmate, and I was so emotionally touched, I even had to contact them and talk to them, because it's so frustrating, and it gets frustrating when you have good papers. Yeah, you've learned, you have actually one of the best degrees in the world. Why can't you get a job? Yeah, why can't I get a job? You apply here and there, drop CVs, send emails, go meet them in person. Nothing is happening. You start getting frustrated. Yeah, so you need to be very careful even about your mental health. Like if you put too much expectation, yeah, on your papers, you lose sight, you lose focus. Yeah. So how you navigate around this? Start small. Ask yourself, do I have something that I can actually do? Yeah. For someone, it could be anything. It could even be a shop, someone or a supermarket whom you can help organize their inventory, maximize their staff, or maximize their output. You guys did operational research and so some of these things. It's actually coming up with very simple models of how you can improve efficiency. It doesn't even have to be so actuarial. You need yourself doing a lot of data and everything. So the stuff you can do after graduation, but you need ideally to start them as early as you can. Start today. Register a LinkedIn whatever today, account today. Start networking with people. Start learning a skill. Learn Python, because the reason I love the computer programming, it's so easy to, it's not as easy to learn, but the applicability is so direct. Yeah? Like you learn Python, you give me data, I can analyze with Python. As in, it's right there, straightforward. And you guys actually doing this thing in school, but you just do it for the sake of the paper and then you forget about it. That might be your entire life. I have one of my co-founders right now got a scholarship to go to Ghana to pursue further entrepreneurship and software development. So his next life will be all software development. Has nothing to do with actuarial. Say 5% of you are the only guys who will pursue actuarial. The rest will either stop along the way, never even start doing the paper side as well. So because of time, let me go to my last slide. Tell me if my network is not working, because it seems to be having some issues. So now you've gotten into the job market. You got that internship. You got that job, that entry-level job. What happens after there? So there's one thing that we normally joke with my friends. So in the job market, especially if you get into an actuarial department, two things happen. You either have papers or you're nothing. That's how the actuarial industry is structured. Yeah. So if you have papers, you find yourself going easy. Even sometimes even getting this job without papers is almost impossible. Yeah. So, but as you get, or you get in the claims department or the underwriting department, you want to go to actuarial. Papers is everything in the actuarial field. Yeah. Basically, if you don't have, if you're not going to pursue papers, you might as well start rethinking. I'm not saying you drop actuarial as a career. No, rethink your angle to that career, to that actuarial career. Yeah, you might want to position yourself a bit differently. Yeah. So if you have papers, then the chances are, the way you move up is pretty clear for most organizations. Yeah, you get two papers, you're promoted or you added something, some salary. If not, you move to another company which has lesser actuarial people, and then you acquire a higher position. That is not that's not such a it's not so complex. One thing I can tell you though, the papers won't necessarily give you the salary. It won't necessarily give you the 6-figure, 7-figure you guys talk about all the time. No, that's still not happening. That's what if you're doing papers to get money, stop now. I can tell you right away. If you think by doing papers will make you rich, it won't happen. So just stop it. So let's talk about the 90% who won't do papers and still want to be relevant in actuarial. There are different ways in which you can do that. Number one, so depending on your what you incline towards. I'll give an example. Like me, I'm product development. I'm all about logic. How can we problem versus solutions? Yeah, and you can be in product development, not with the title actuary, but the fact that you can figure out how to position a product, how to create a product, how to get market, how to get traction, the first customers, and all that. You can still be relevant in the product development team. So the actuaries will handle the complex part, the math and all that. You will handle the people side. So you can still be very much relevant. Or you could be very good at software. You can implement all these ideas into an app, into an algorithm, into a model. You can be very good with Python, Java, Excel, Visual Basic, and all these other things that you're learning right now. Basically, you can implement whatever has been decided. So you can be part of the implementation journey. See, because most insurance products right now are being digitized. They are being placed in a platform. Yeah. So you're not just doing the math and coming up with the premium. It's about how do I take this product to the market, and that journey from product to market has a lot of people in that value chain that you can plug yourself into, but don't necessarily hustle so hard trying to become this actuary. I don't think the title actuary is what you really want. What you want is a fulfillment in your career, and this comes by seeing you add value to a company, and that company actually appreciating you. So in the job market, again, another way you can look at things is instead of looking at paper, I want to do the next paper, I want to work in this organization, then this is what I studied, so this is my experience. You can look at it from the point of view of a problem versus opportunity. There's a problem I can help you solve. Anybody will listen to that. Your problem A, I've devised plan 1, 2, 3, how you can solve that problem. There's this opportunity in the market. Nobody is using, say, digital channels to distribute health insurance, to distribute an HIF. Why do I have to sign a form for an HIF? Why can't I just go on my phone and boom, register on HIF? These are examples. Yeah. So that's an opportunity. A problem is company X is suffering from ABC, and I have a problem. I have a solution on how I can go about solving that. Then the next thing, when you're going to look for a job, before you even start talking to that company, flip the conversation. Imagine you're the interviewer, you're the company. If I ask you, what can you do for me? Not what you have, not what you've studied. What can you do for me? Show me something you can do for me. And that's the point you realize, shit, I have nothing. Yeah. So make sure you have something. People are different. People take different directions. But what can you do for any company? This goes back now to the problem and forgetting about your papers and focusing on skill. So I'm going to end there. I'll take a few questions. But basically, that's my presentation. I'm not an actuary myself. I haven't done papers. I discovered I can't do papers in for there. It wasn't my line. So although I'm giving an actual talk, I'm taking from a very different perspective, basically from the 90% perspective who won't eventually do this paper. So I'll give back to Calvin's and Sylvia, and I'll open the platform for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Luis. We are humbled to have your presentation. You have outlined clearly very many things and very many opportunities that actuarial science graduates have not yet exploited. I open this chance for questions. Like we had said earlier, you can raise your hand or you can type your question on the chat. Yeah, we are looking forward to that.
Or did I talk too much and wipe out everything I said?
We are still waiting for questions. I can only see one comment. From Judith Mampi, who is thanking you for that amazing and super and eye-opening talk. For questions, type in the group chat or just raise your hand and the moderator will pick you.
Okay, so guys, of the question, I can probably take this from I would tell you anything depending on your do something that you naturally love to. Yeah. You don't. I won't tell you to go do Python and Java. Yep. If you love, do it to perfection. Yeah. Like I know, my brother studied in Moranga University, and he was all this into catering and events planning and everything. He actually ran with it, and it was so good. So I won't tell you to be so specific. Acquiring the hard skills are necessary, but I also understand actual people. Just because we are doing one course does not mean we are one person. We don't have that one skill. We're not all carved the same way. So do something. If you love playing football, go play football to your best. Whatever you do, just do to the extreme. Yeah. If you think you can cook mandazi very well, cook and start a small shop. You probably serve the first 2 months. The next time after a villager there, you put them there. They start running your business. Utakuwa unakuja jioni unafanya hesabu. Before you know, you have two or either hotel or two printing offices. Basically, find something that you really can do. If you're good at data analysis or or graphic design, for example, like the guys who are in school and create very good posters here, go to the extreme. And YouTube, basically perfect on your skill. Whatever you have, just perfect it to the extreme. That's all I can advise you.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Luis, for that presentation. We are humbled to have it. Yeah, I can't see anyone who has already posted a question.
There's a question here. Somebody is asking. Okay, let's see.
Thank you very much.
Okay, somebody is talking. So let me just tackle this. Then we'll take another one. Somebody is asking. Explain to me what is LinkedIn. What does it do? Is it a must for kuwa an experience ama kama natafuta job or something else? Now, let me talk about this because this is actually one of the things that I'm very passionate about. If you're in the university, and let me just be frank with you, you shouldn't be asking this question. If I told you about LinkedIn, what you could have done first, Google, second, YouTube. All the best presenters you can think, all the best people who can explain the best in the best possible way are already free on YouTube. When mtu akikuguide, I will now hold your hand, nianze kuonyesha step by step. Go figure, yeah? Go figure. This is what you call go figure. I'll probably just do one presentation for the next 3 years, or maybe I'll never even meet you people in the future. I can't take handhold every single person and guide mwambie, this is how you're gonna do. Go figure. Mekwambia LinkedIn, find out what it is, how it can help your life. Get so Tetras Demeter. All I can say, go figure. That's it.
Okay, I would like to thank everyone because yeah, it has been an eye-opener. My question is, okay, I have this idea, I have implemented it, and I got all things under control. And then I present it to someone and asks me for an MVP. I would like to ask, what is an MVP?
Okay, so let me let me engage you. This is Kevin, yeah, Muturi.
Yeah.
Kevin, you, yeah.
Yeah.
When
I was at a conference, and then I was at a conference, and then I had an idea, and I asked the coordinator. There was a coordinator who was like this big guy. And he asked me for an MVP, and at the moment I didn't know what an MVP is.
Okay. So first of all, create something to present so that. But wait,
Please, I didn't quite get that.
When you get what time?
It was in January this year.
Good. So between January and July, you don't know what an MVP is. I'm sorry,
The thing,
yeah.
the definition I'm getting, I don't really quite get them well.
Just give me 1 minute. Sorry, I've been told I had some connection problem. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Also, I had some connection issues. Okay. So, Kevin, let me just answer this because I want to answer this question in a way that it helps the rest of you. Yeah. So, Kevin, between January and July, you still don't know what an MVP is. I'm going to tell you. Yeah? An MVP means minimum viable product. That very basic product that you can do to prove that it actually works. But Kevin, you shouldn't have waited for 6 months to find out what an MVP is. I wish I could share my screen here. Yeah, we could type it out with you. What is an MVP? And I'll get there. I'll get what an MVP is. Yeah, Google, purely Google. I'm not going to any books. I'll then go to YouTube, search the same thing. What is an MVP? I'll get 20 to 30 videos there. I'll explain what an MVP is, and from there I'll actually know what I need to do. So an MVP is basically the most basic product. Imagine you're creating a solution, yeah, but it has tons and tons of features. Yeah, before you can take it to the market, you probably have invested, 6 or years time of your. Imagine Facebook. If you had to develop Facebook, how long would it take to develop Facebook? Yeah. But you can still develop a very basic feature of Facebook, like people can talk to each other, they can connect, they can share photos. So basically, an MVP is the most basic point of your solution, the most basic product that you can take to the market and start testing before you can get now to validate that it's actually needed. Imagine if you had to invest 10 million developing an app, then you peleke kwenye fail. Dokome saw that, yeah. So Kevin, I'm referring you to a book by Eric Rice. It's called The Lean Startup. The Lean Startup. Please go read that book. You'll get all those details there. For the rest of you who are still wondering, go Google. All these things, all this information is there. You can get it readily available. And if you're sending privately, please send to the public so that everyone can see and the other guys can benefit. If you're sending questions privately, just do publicly, because other guys might be having similar questions. So somebody's asking me here, how do you get your first customers? You have a skill that can be a service. So how do you get people to see its value as a business? This is actually a very good question. So you have a product that you can sell to somebody or can be of value to somebody. So the first thing, who is this somebody? Is it your friend? Is it the mama outside there? Is it your own mom? Is it your neighbor? If you're developing a solution and you cannot visualize the customer, then probably you shouldn't be developing in the first place. And if you can figure who that customer is, then you know who they are, then go talk to them. It's basically that easy. If you're developing a product that you think can help insurance agents sell better, then get an insurance agent, test the product with them. If you're developing a product that you think can help shops manage the inventory much better, you know a shop owner. Basically, if you're developing a solution, you need to know the customer. You need to know the profile of the customer. And if you know the profile, then you can identify a customer. And I know I'm putting it very, very, very basic, but basically start with the closest person you can find. That is simple. If it's big, if you need to go to speak to corporations for that to work, then please do find again LinkedIn. Find somebody who works in certain company who you think might help you present. Maybe just one event for learning purposes. But basically, if you're looking for a customer, you must be knowing who that customer is. The next one is there's somebody called Varun here. Let's see if it's a question. So he's saying, thank you for your explanation on the area of skill versus papers. it's an area that most students take. So, okay, that's a comment. Thank you so much, very, yeah, very, and that's so true. People take it lightly, but it's everything. So I have been doing Python, Samuel Keruke. I've been doing Python by myself. Will that give the same skills as the person who's taking it as a unit? Oh, Samuel, it will give you everything you need than somebody is actually taking it for a unit. Remember, if you're doing it for a unit, you're doing it to pass. Actually, that's the most passive way of learning these tech skills. If you're doing Python because you have a passion and you have the drive, you're doing it because you want to. You're not doing it because you have to. Remember, as a unit, you have to do it because you want a degree. But if you're doing it, if you're going to YouTube, you're taking clips, you're going to Udemy, you're going to all these online learning platforms, then you're doing it because you want to. So it's coming from within. And you're actually more likely to succeed. You're more likely to get the basics or the skills. You're more likely to acquire the skills. In school, the guys who teach Python, they teach it very basic, in a very basic way. Because pia lecturer maybe ako tu pale amaliza unit yake aende. But wewe unajisomea because you want to figure out how can I use this? How can I use this to do something, to add value to a business, to add value to a person. So I'll actually recommend anytime. Hata kama umesoma Java in school, hizo ni rumors. For me, anything you learn in campus ni rumors. Let me just be honest with you. And let me give you a simple example connected to this. When you do, if you're a teacher, you do a teaching degree, you become a teacher. If you're an actuarial student, you do an actuarial degree, what do you become? You don't become an actuary. The journey to an actuary hasn't even started. There's a whole set of papers you have to finish to become a fully qualified actuary. You are an actuary with rumors. Actually, when you're on rumors, akisikia probability distribution function, they probably know what that is, but they can't put it together comprehensively. So learning the skill by yourself is the best way. Even if you want to, and it's essentially true. Like, for example, where's some life contingency in class and go sit CT directly? That kind of, you're going to fail most probably, you know. But ukisema life contingencies as a CT paper by yourself or with some of your friends or whoever, chances are you're going to pass. So all university does, as a unit, those are rumors. You can even become a better computer scientist right now. Let me just be honest with you. Computer scientists right now better than the guy who's done it 4 years, 4 years college and 2 years masters. A guy who spent doing that thing 6 years, if you start reading the same thing and you're passionate about it and you're going to invest your time and focus on it, you actually become a better computer scientist than school. School gives you basics. It gives you those ideas here and there. It's for you to pick those ideas and put it into something comprehensive. Yeah, so proceed. I think that's all the questions that are on this platform. In case I've missed one, please refer me to it.
Yeah, I think you have exhausted all the questions. Yeah, we thank you. Thank you for handling the questions as well and for participating in this great webinar.
Okay, thank you so much for having me, TASS. Always a pleasure to come again. If we meet out there, let's talk. Go on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'll accept all your connection requests. I don't reject connections. If you're figuring what LinkedIn still is, that's your job. Go read and figure how it is that it can help your life. But I've already told you that's the best place to be. To connect with whether you're looking for a job, you're looking for a connection, you're looking for a mentor, basically anything. Every important person you know right now is already on LinkedIn. This is a place you can connect with Bill Gates, and you know, even if you may not have that one-on-one conversation, everything they post, everything they talk about, you're there following. Yeah, you're there learning. So you're basically learning every stage. Your profile name on LinkedIn, Luis Kinuthia, just as it is here. Luis Kinuthia, you can find me on LinkedIn. We can still continue this same chat on LinkedIn, and let's keep it engaged.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I see Casper's here is saying, for further understanding of MVP, go to market strategy, Google audiobook, yeah, called Lean Startup by Eric Rice. Yeah, please take note of that book. It's free, it's available, you can go learn. To give you all these tech platforms, how they are formed, from Google, Facebook, and all these other great apps you're seeing right now. To explain the logic, the foundation of how all this was actually formed, and how you can now go about taking a small idea, putting it into something that actually can be executable. Yeah, so that book by Eric Rice, The Lean Startup, make sure you read. Audiobook, if you're not good a reader, there's audiobooks, there are videos, there are even YouTube clips, small clips explaining what the book is all about. All that information is already available for you.
Thank you, Luis, for that clarification. We really appreciate.
Great. So that's all I had to share. If there are no more questions, yeah, see you around, guys.
Yeah, we'll also be seeing you around soon.
Sure. But make sure you're proactive. Nothing will ever come to you, and no one knows you anything. Hata kama uko na first class, na CPA, na CFA, na CIFA, nobody owes you shit. Yeah, that's my closing remark.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you, guys. I think I'm gonna log off now. Or is there anything else left to be said?
No, you can now log off.
Okay, cool. Bye, guys. I can see Gibbon has commented. Gibbon is also a good friend and mentee of mine. We've talked. He knows me. We've had so many sessions of this, so yeah. Please also pick up on his points.
Maybe Louis, before you log out, I do want to take the opportunity to appreciate you. Despite your busy schedule, you had time to be with us. We don't take it for granted. So just for the benefit of the TASS members, I know I'll have a brief opportunity to say hi, but some of us, we are where we are today because of the likes of Louis. I remember when I was in Kisii in 2016, I was the organizing secretary of TASS. And when we went to the first Ask convention at College of Insurance, so I saw Louis, and Louis was presenting, and I was like, who is this guy? From then I decided that I want to be like this guy. We've kept contacts, we've been communicating. And even when I graduated, he's one of the motivators that we have been having. So it's not for granted what he said. Let's take them seriously. And Louis, we really appreciate. Thank you. So I just wanted to make that comment before you leave.
Thank you so much, Calvin. Yeah, Calvin has also been doing great. This is one of the guys who we can actually see their career. You don't necessarily have to pursue actuarial to actuarial. You can use your actuarial analysis, your actuarial background to be relevant. Like he's head of operations at Blue Wave, and he's actually doing very good. Yeah, so proud of you, Calvin, as well, and all the Blue Wave team. Yeah, and TASS leadership, maybe I should add something. Leadership ni kusacrifice, ni kujinyenyekea. I remember guys used to think ukiwa a member of this association, you're being paid. Ukienda ask, they think ask to get a salary, zero. Unalipa fare, events, sometimes even contribute to the association. So that sacrifice goes a long way. So all the leadership organizing these things, organize event, a very good event, nobody shows up, najipata mko watano wa 10. It's all part of life. But what you get out of there is so much endurance, experience, networking, and how to manage people. People are always like that. Whether it's association at TASS, whether ni kampuni, people will always be like that. So that endurance, persevering, and pursuing what you have, regardless of all the pressures around you, that's very good. So to all TASS leadership, keep at it. It will help you personally. It will help the association, but there's those benefits that will come to you directly that won't come to anyone else. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you too, Luis. We are really humble and grateful for having you.
Okay, cool. So I need to jump to another meeting, but all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
At this moment, I would like to invite Sylvia Luku to invite the Blue Wave team so that they may say something and maybe answer any questions that may be coming from Adelaide's presentation.
Okay, thank you, Moses. And maybe in case there are any background noise, it's because we are working currently remotely as a result of the current COVID-19 situation. So I don't have much to say, but we are having a team of Blue Wave team here. We are having Calvis, who is our head of operations. We are having Abraham May. Abraham is our head of business development. We are having Kaspanjoga, who is our business development associate. And I don't know if we are having any team member, but I would like to take this opportunity maybe to welcome Calvins, who will then welcome Abu and Kaspa.
Okay, thank you very much, Sylvia. So maybe for those who don't know me, as has been introduced by Sylvia and perhaps Moses, I'm Calvin Sotieno. I currently head operations at Blue Wave. So I'm a graduate of KISS University 2018. Actually, Sylvia was a classmate of mine. Most of you may not know because you joined when we had left. I was the organizing secretary of TASS, and we are the people who moved, because TASS was initially called Kwasa. So we are the people who did the transition, and we now head TASS. So at that point, I was also the campus representative to ASK. Then in the following year, I was appointed to be the National Organizing Secretary of ASK, that is Actuarial Society of Kenya. So after us came Laura, then came Verin, then we now have the current task leadership. Actually, Sylvia was my chairperson then. What I just want to echo what Louis has said. Sometimes, hello? Yeah, sometimes classwork may not really assist a lot. It's good to have the papers that we're seeking, but you find that when you come out here, sometimes we may not need them. Because just like Louis, I am employed by an employer who does not even know what I got. She understands, she knows that I graduated from KISS University with a bachelor's degree in actual science, but she has never seen my papers. And that is because of the developments and the networking that I did while I was in ASK and while I was a student in KISS University. So we normally say, in as much as you are book smart, try to be street smart, understand what is happening outside there, understand what is it that APA are doing, what is it that Britam are doing, what are Jubilee doing. And now that you've heard of Blue Wave, do you understand Blue Wave? Do you understand the history and the journey that Blue Wave has? Once you understand that, when you now come outside here, it gives you the confidence and it gives you the knowledge on how to approach most of the issues outside here. So I will not speak a lot because the presenters have done a fantastic job. So I'll maybe start with Caspar. So Caspar, if you can maybe say hi and any points that you could have for the students for us.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Calvins. Yeah, as you have heard, guys, I'm Casper Njoga. I work in Blue and business development. And what I would like to emphasize, I know it has been said a lot, but all you need is your brain, not your papers, not your uncle who is in a senior position somewhere. Actually, those ones are the ones who disappoint most. So it is you and your brain. What value can you offer? Money, there is a lot of money in Kenya. The question is, do you have the value? Value is what calls for money. So if you have money, then if you have value to offer, money will come knocking your door. So unlock your brain. Do not sit there just because there is no more class today. Do not rejoice when the classes are bounced. Rejoice when you are doing something that you know will help somebody somewhere. Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Caspar. So this person, now Abraham is formerly the chairperson of Karuasa, that is Karatina, University Student Actuarial Science Association. So when I was the organizing secretary of ASK, Abraham used to be my deputy. But when we left now, he went ahead and became the chairperson of ASK. And he's been very supportive, especially to you, actuarial campus organizations. So Abraham, if you can say hi and share.
Thank you so much, Xavier. Calvins. and for the other team members. I don't have much to say on my side. I know we've quietly really interacted in a more engageful manner even before that. And even as we work with a very extraordinary crew who actually have a vision to really build a very solid and robust insurance system globally. So what I've actually been my points at home is being able to learn that friends are some people who are really going to matter in your life. Because when I sit down and at least I try to see some of the people that we keep engaging, I can say we really have something like a very extraordinary crew just among within our circle. So again, I will retaliate on what the other presenters actually did and said that do all what you can in the university or while you are studying. Don't take anything for granted. The opportunities you're given, maybe when you do, just do your best. So I don't have more to add, and both 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 team members from Calvin, Xavier, Casper, Louis, we've been learning quite a lot from each other. It's been quite interesting to really see and extend that knowledge sharing amongst um, amongst us. So that is the reason why we are sharing information with you, and we want at least to make sure that each and every person is at a place where maybe can be actually pursuing something quite fascinating in life. So thank you so much. Let me hand over to Calvin's. Calvin's.
Okay, thank you very much, Abraham. So I'll now invite Xavier to give his points. But one thing that is evident even from every speaker is that we were mentored. When you're in campus and when you are starting, you are mentored. So we are also ready to mentor. We are very happy and we are looking forward to linking with you. Follow us, get our contacts, contact us. We shall be there to offer that guidance. So, Xavier, if you can give your remarks.
Okay. Thank you so much, the Blue Web team and TASS members. Okay, what I can say, I know most of you guys have met me in case you have come to this university and even we do chat. But one thing that Louis has said and Calvin has also reiterated is that even for myself, I have never done any interview in wherever I have been in the profession, and nobody has ever asked me about my papers, and I have never submitted any photocopy of the paper to HR department. So what I can say is specifically for like Blue Wave is a startup, and you find out that like for instance, I'm alone in the actuarial department. However, we do have a consultant actuary, but you find most of the things, 99.9% I do alone. Sometimes you don't, maybe you might lack something, that technical support, but how do I do to be able to get all this knowledge? Nowadays, we have each and every person who is trying to come up with something will always post in the internet. So the internet nowadays will give you whatever you need. You don't have even to go to class. And Louis has said that one before. So what I can tell you people is that be in class, but know what you want in life. I want also to say something, and I know we are having lectures here, but I must just say it frankly. If even today I give you my first year transcript, it is just 70 points and above, because I used to go to the library class and maybe watching football alone, nothing else. When I reached second year, I realized that I need to do more things beyond classwork. That's why I started coming to the association, legal department of the association, secretary general, then chairperson. Then when we were in fourth year, at that time I was the campus rep of this university, and Calvis was the exec of ASK. At the same time, I was the chairperson of all clubs and societies at KISS University. Then also there was a county association. So I found out that myself, I rarely attended the classes during fourth year. So what I own, because I knew what I want and how the world has shifted, I believe that classwork will never give, only staying in class and library will never give me anything in life. But through that networking, that's the way that I ended up even in the job market as early as after just completing 4.2, not even graduation. So what we can tell you guys, many people will always tell you that, but you will just see and say that it is a joke. But in reality, after now you finish for the year, that's where you start now regretting. So what I can just tell you guys, take life seriously. And by taking life seriously, it's not staying in class alone. If today you have been taught those probability distributions, or the confidence interval, what and so on, how can you walk to any, like for instance, if you are from KISS University, how can you walk in any business in town and tell them that I can assist you guys maybe to improve on your operations based on my knowledge, or I can assist you to do A, B, C, D, to analyze your data, to and so on, whatever Louis has said. So I don't want to repeat it. There's a lot to be done, but only the students have not realized the opportunities that are there. So I thank you all, the organizers of this event. We are looking forward to more. Use this time when you are at home. Don't be idle. Don't wait when will the universities be opened. Find out that when the universities will be opened, even if it's in 2022, maybe you have gained a lot of skills. So you will just go to complete your degree for the sake of doing so and come do something in the job market. So thank you so much. And I want now to return back to the chairperson of TASS, that is Mwenda.
Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, Xavier, for that presentation and the knowledge that you have shared with us. We really appreciate the Blue Wave team for making it here and for sharing with us today. At this moment, I would like to share something small, a small presentation about TASS, what we have, what we stand for, and probably one of the few activities that we do and some of the achievements that we have achieved over the years. Yeah, TASS is the Actuarial Student Society, KISS University. That was the theme of our today's webinar, the Unexploited Opportunities by Actuarial Science Graduates, which is already now ending. And I believe that everyone has gained something new from the meeting. These are our guests. Adelaide Odhiambo is the CEO and founder Blue Wave Insurance Agency, and Luis Kinuthia, the commercial manager of Africa Pool Advisors. That's the history of TASS. I know you have heard this, but I'll just repeat it. TASS was formerly known as KOASA, KISS University Actuarial Students Association. It was formed in February 2012 with the main objective of upholding professional standards and guidance to TASS students.
Excuse?
Yes.
Oh, so I don't think your slides are visible. We can only see the thank you page.
Uh-huh. Are my slides visible now?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, thank you. There was some technicality, I think, in my laptop, but it has already been solved. Yeah, that's the Actuarial Student Society. And this was the theme for today's webinar, the unexploited opportunities by actuarial science graduates. We had those guests that have already addressed us. Adelaide Odhiambo, the CEO and founder Blue Wave Insurance Agency, and Luis Kinuthia, who is the commercial manager for Africa, Hula Advisors. This is the background information about TASS. TASS was formerly known as KUASA, Kisii University Actuarial Students Association. It was formed in 2012 with its main objective of developing and upholding professional standards and guidance to its members. TASS serves as an outreach tool for Kisii University students to engage with the corporate world and to learn skills that will help them after their graduation and in their careers. Through TASS, through TASS, we have been able to offer and improve their cordial relations between students and their corporates. We believe in excellency, integrity, professionalism, and we all work to ingrain a culture that satisfies global standards of practice among our members. Our motto is forecasting for future endless possibilities, and it's our vision to develop and uphold the highest professional standards and guidance for our members in relation to the practice of actuarial profession, standing as may assist them in discharging their duties. Our mission is to sensitize the public on the importance of actuarial science. This is our team. As you can see, we have Cynthia Mwende, who is our matron. Unfortunately, she has not been able to attend the meeting. She was attending another meeting today. Yeah, that's the team. Yeah. Over the years, we have been able to acquire various awards. In 2014, we had the best insurance product in the Ask PDC. In 2018, we had the best research paper in Ask Convention, and also the third research paper the same year. Last year in 2019, we managed position 2 and position 3 in the Ask Convention, that was in research papers. These are our social media platforms. You can find us in Facebook at TASS KSU. In Twitter, we are at Actuarial KSU. And that's our YouTube channel. We are actually launching the YouTube channel today. And therefore, this webinar, the recording of this webinar will be available in the YouTube channel. So if you have a friend that didn't manage to attend the meeting, you can refer them to the YouTube channel. We will be sharing the link with you later in the day. The YouTube channel is named TASS KSU. Yeah, we thank you all for coming to this meeting. We really appreciate that you've taken your time and made it here. We thank our guests and the Blue Wave team for managing to be here and for sharing with us. As you have heard them say, you can always reach out to them and they will be able to guide you. Thank you all.
Maybe Moses.
Yeah.
Maybe before you end, I know a colleague here called Grace. Grace, I think Grace, you are working with TASK. So maybe you might be having something to say.
Grace, it's your chance.
I had not really prepared for this. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been a great learning platform as well for me. And thank you for this event. Maybe to encourage the students, as my friend Xavier had mentioned earlier, the things you do right now in campus, it will really come into effect after you have cleared. So for the team that organized this, Kisii University Actuarial Club, keep at it, and it will pay off in a great way after you have cleared campus. And all the best in all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Xavier, do you have anyone else who needs a chance to speak or say something?
No, not really, not really.
Okay. For all our members from other universities, from Karatina, I don't know if you are still in the meeting. This is your chance. Any member from Karatina?